Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the Pride Podcast, episode 384 on the Blue Wire Network. I am your host, Tyler, joined my main guy, as always, Mr. Malcolm Hart. Malcolm, how are we feeling? Defending NFC North champions, number one seed. We get to relax. How are we feeling?
Man, shit, that was a crazy. That first half, maybe the first few quarters was freaking ridiculous. It was crazy. It was a crazy game. Game that we didn't expect. This was, at first it was a defensive game, and then I don't know where the Lions just went off. But shoot, I'm excited, man. Let's go. 13
I,
wins.
I think you're absolutely correct, though. This is not a game I think anyone could have predicted. I think when you saw this matchup on paper, you saw what was on the line. I think we just expected fireworks from both sides, from the Vikings, the Lions, and that was the complete opposite. And Aaron freaking Glenn, man, allowed zero touchdowns to the Minnesota Vikings today. That was absolutely huge, man. My goodness, dude. And the Vikings, they got some yards here and there. They had some solid drives, but where they caught, bend don't break. And that was Aaron Glenn today. Malcolm, where do we start with this episode? I think we have to start with this Detroit Lions defense. What was the winning recipe for today's defensive performance?
Pressure, pressure, and pressure. They made it very uncomfortable for Sam Darnold, and he looked like the old Sam Darnold. Like when you pressure him, he looked crazy out there. He was throwing overthrows. He was holding on to the ball too long. The pressure, I think the pressure got to Sam Darnold in this game.
Absolutely. I mean, he was seeing ghosts, as he would say. He was seeing ghosts out there. I mean, just a very rough day for Darnold. 41 passing attempts, only 166 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, that is a very, very rough Sam Darnold day. And I think not even just Lions fans, I think just NFL fans in general are like, man, when is this guy going to have one of his just Sam Darnold performances? We haven't seen it all year. And it happened tonight. It happened tonight. Today was just a very, very bad, showing from Sam Darnold. But hey, people are going to look at that and say, yes, bad day from Sam Darnold. And you're absolutely correct. But man, you got to give credit to this Detroit Lions defense, dude. They got in his head. And we said in the pregame show, man, that impact of Alex Anzalone being back on this Detroit Lions defense, wow, I think is a lot bigger than anyone could have ever thought.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think Alex Anzalone probably played his best defensive game as a Lion. I haven't seen him. I've seen him make big plays, from time to time, but his coverage today was at another level. Between him and Amik Robinson, I don't know. Those guys are playing out of their minds, and we needed them. We needed that. We need those guys to step up, and they did. My goodness.
Yeah, man. Amik Robinson stepped up big time today, dude. He was great. And this was a risky game plan that Aaron Glenn came into with, and the broadcast mentioned it kind of numerous times is that man coverage could be really risky sometimes, right? And especially when you're going against a receiving core like this. I mean, you're going against arguably the best receiver in the NFL with Justin Jefferson. You're going against a guy who's really talented in Jordan Addison. You have a really good tight end, TJ Hawkinson. They have a speed threat with Jalen Naylor. And what they were able to do with this receiving core, with the guys they had out there, was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, just look at the stat line for this Minnesota Vikings receiving core. Justin Jefferson, only 3 catches, 54 yards, had 9 targets today. Jalen Naylor, 3 catches, 53 yards. Aaron Jones in the running and the passing game had 5 catches, 30 yards. Jordan Addison, this one's the unbelievable one. Jordan Addison, 1 reception, 0 yards, 6 targets.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I think Aaron Glenn said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to put pressure on Aaron. We're going to put pressure on Sam Darnold. And if they can't stop it, they can't stop. Because all he did cover zero pretty much the whole damn game. Cover zero. I mean, it was just, man up, man. Everybody else does 9-man blitz. That's all it was. and it worked. I mean, Sam Darnold was rattled. Like he didn't know what to do with the ball because there was so much pressure coming at him, and he just wasn't comfortable. We made it completely uncomfortable for Sam Darnold, and they came out with the perfect game plan. Aaron Glenn, man, I think he put the final stamp on you know his legacy as far as a coach and being a head coach. He just put that game right there. He could go to any interview and play that tape,
Yeah.
and he probably guaranteed a job.
Yeah. I mean,
Guaranteed.
the impact of the players, man. I mean, just having Anzalone back makes such a big difference because you could do blitzes, and because he gets home, he's really good at blitzing, and that's something to get him back is really big because like that's something we were missing because once we had these injuries on the D line, something that worked for the Lions last year because they were just a team that didn't really generate pressure before, and they were pretty good at it in the beginning of the year. Obviously, some injuries happen. You lose Hutchinson, you lose Liam, you lose some big pass rushers, right? But something the Lions leaned on last year when they didn't have a great pass rush was blitzing. And even when the Detroit Lions tried to blitz when Anzalone went out, it was not as successful. So having him back for this game and going forward for this playoff race and letting him get a little extra rest now, because now that you secured that bye week, all these guys deserve a break, man. They haven't had a bye week since week freaking 5, man. These guys absolutely deserve this break.
Need it. They need it.
They need it, man. They need it big time. And when we get to this postseason, like it's all go. It's all go, man. So having Anzalone back, man, I'm so happy he's back for this team. And he was absolutely big for this team. And then, like you said, man, those DBs really stepped up today. Amik Robinson, Terrion Arnold, and then even Vildor. He had a couple solid plays when he was out there when Arnold went down. So
that's when you just know everything is working. That's when you know
when 29 is looking all right. Yeah, so something's working.
You know the defense is clicking on all cylinders when Vildor is making plays out there.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, great stop. I mean, he punched the ball out. He did a great job.
That's going to be something interesting going forward because Arnold did get hurt in that game. It was a foot injury. Didn't return that game.
Hopefully he's not serious, man, because that'll be a huge, major blow for us if he's not available in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, we're so thin at corner right now. I mean, we've already had to move Amik back to the outside, and he's been great. He's actually been better since moving to the outside, but, just coming into the year, man, like you lost all the guys that you really hoped on, at least in the outside, with Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, and then even Rakeshaw, we had like some expectations for that he could have some type of role. And right now, we'll see what happens with Arnold. Hopefully, best case scenario, we don't know the full extent of it, but hopefully he's good to go. Hopefully this week could help him big time, and then he can get out there for whoever we end up playing at Ford Field because you guarantee that today with that win for the Minnesota Vikings. So, just really happy, man. Just really happy, man. We deserve this, dude. We really do deserve this, man. As a fan base that has gone through so many hard times, that a team we've stuck with for so many freaking years, man. And the job's not finished. We won the division. We got the number 1 seed. That's great. There's still more to be done. But Detroit Lions fans in the city of Detroit, man, they freaking deserve this, man. They freaking deserve a season like this. It's just been an unbelievable run. But like I said, man, job is not finished yet, man. There's still a lot more football to be played this season in Motown. And I'm just so happy that these fans get to experience it here in Detroit for the rest of the way, man. So
100%, bro.
It's unbelievable feeling, man. It's unbelievable feeling. So, all right, let's switch gears a little bit to the offense side of the ball. We talked about Aaron Glenn. Absolutely phenomenal game from him. Just a great game plan. But the offensive side of the ball, what were your thoughts on Ben's game plan coming into the game, and then I guess adjusting a little bit in the second half?
Ben's game plan. I didn't have an issue with Ben's game plan. I mean, it was run, and the thing is that Minnesota, they play a lot of two safeties high. So whenever they did that, you just got Jahmyr Gibbs involved, and it looked like they leaned on Jahmyr Gibbs the entire game. He's a special player. He's a special player. And my question for this offense, when Monty comes back, Do you go back to that role where they're splitting carries, or are you letting this guy continue to lead us to the championship? Because he's special. Special backs don't really split times like this.
What would you say the percentage was when Monty was fully healthy? Do you think it was a complete 50-50 split?
Yeah, because what we'll do, they'll probably start one drive with Monty. After that drive, Monty will come out, Gibbs will go in the next drive, and the next drive, Gibbs will go out, Monty will go in. They
Yeah.
switch drives. It's not like situation football where, all right, this guy's the third three down back and then or two down back, and then on third down he comes in, or short yardage he comes. They didn't play it like that.
They trust both of them in the same
They trust
situation.
both of them, same situations. They just switch these guys in and out. But I love Monty. He's a good back, great back, and good what he does. But Jameer Gibbs is special. When I'm talking about special, I mean like Saquon Barkley type special.
He is.
He's
No,
in that. He's in that category,
yeah.
and I just don't know what to do.
You know, with Monty coming off an injury, I could see. I mean, if he could come back, and it looks like every indication. I don't know if you heard of during the game. Melissa, she mentioned as she talked to Campbell, says, "What's the update on David Montgomery?" And he just had a big smile. Like, was he going to be playing next week? And he just had a big smile. So, like, every indication now that you have this bye week too, it looks like we'll see what happens. But it looks like we can be getting David Montgomery back for this playoff race, and we can be getting him for that NFC divisional round. If you do get David Montgomery back, I think Gibbs could still have this kind of role. Maybe not as many carries, but I think having him fresh is still really important. And maybe you don't go to that complete 50-50 split because Monty's coming off an injury. Maybe you go 60-40. Maybe you go 70-30. I think whatever it is, though, I think you're going to lean Gibbs just a little more for this playoff race. Now, maybe in the offseason, we talk about it. It's a different story. But going for the rest of forward for this season alone, when we're going into this postseason, I think you are going to lean on Gibbs a little bit more. But, man, if you can get David Montgomery back and you can get that Sonic Knuckles connection back, that duo, a little more grit, a little more speed, just a little bit, it's a great combination of running backs. If you can get both of them back, I think it benefits his team big time. So, but yeah, maybe that's a legitimate argument. Maybe it is 60-40 now. Maybe it is 70-30 Gibbs' favor. But Monty still has a role in this football team. 100.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, maybe down, especially he's coming off an injury.
This year it makes sense. I think next year you go back to maybe what it was, but this year, 100%. Maybe you lean on Gibbs a little bit more because, like you said, man, he is freaking special and he can handle it.
I would, honestly just use Monty as a short yardage back, goal line back, and just keep the ball rolling because this offense is completely different when he is the front runner. When he's the front runner of this offense, this is a totally different team.
We talk about it too with some certain positions, but especially running back, I think is like the main one, man. Like it takes sometimes a little bit to get it into the game a little bit. It's not like one of those things you could just do a 50-50 split and expect to be dominant for all of your snaps. Like sometimes it takes a little bit of adjustment. Like you have to get that hot hand going a little bit, as they say. So, he's definitely been a beneficiary of that for the last 3 weeks when Monty has gone down. He's been a big benefit of getting this running game going and just being that guy.
Yeah. And going to this question or this statement, Monty's a really good back. When you're talking about special, you're talking about Saquon Barkley's, the Christian McCaffrey's when he's healthy. Those are special backs. Jahmyr Gibbs is special. He's in that category with those guys.
Yes.
I don't put Monty in that category yet. Monty's a great back what he does. Really great back, but he's not special. Special is different. He's a totally different tier. And yeah, I mean, I like that they do it to keep the guys fresh. But I mean, for this Super Bowl run, bro, I mean, put this playoffs in Jahmyr Gibbs' shoulders right now and ride Jahmyr Gibbs to the Super Bowl. That's what I would do.
They did that today, dude. I mean, like defensively, the defense really carried us the load big time. But today, offensively, this was Jahmyr Gibbs' offense, man. 4 freaking touchdown tying Barry Sanders. Only other line to ever do 4 touchdowns in one game is Barry Sanders. So I mean, this guy is unbelievable. Yeah, they're gonna be
He,
leaning on Jameer Gibbs this postseason.
he had more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson had catches.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. It's a
I
crazy
mean,
stat.
he had more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson had catches today, man. This guy is incredible.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I mean, Jameer, he is a freaking special player. But overall, I thought they moved they had a good offensive balance though. Like as far as in the passing game, it wasn't always pretty, but in that second half, it got better a little bit. They got Amon-Ra involved. He had 6 catches, 77 yards. Laporta is getting more involved. 7 catches, 63 yards. Yeah, Tor, let's fucking go. But Laporta too, man, he's getting hot at the right time. It wasn't like anything you're gonna look at and say, "Wow, that's a spectacular game for Sam Laporta." But like they have got him a lot more involved.
Oh,
From I would say probably starting last month. I would say that I think that's fair, right? Like over the
yeah.
last month or so, he's getting hot at the right time. And we saw last year he was huge for that postseason run. Had the first touchdown in that game versus the Rams. If he can get going a little bit more, man, in this postseason, that'd be really big for this Lions offense. And he looks a lot more comfortable than he did in September and October.
I mean, this shows you that this team, this offense, is impossible to stop everybody. You try to eliminate one person or one area, they're gonna say, "Okay, you're gonna try to eliminate St. Brown, this guy. Guess what? We're gonna throw Sam Laporta at you. We're going to throw this guy at you. You think you stop this guy? Don't worry, Tim Patrick's here. This team they're balanced everywhere. I mean, they have weapons everywhere. Sam Laporta's going to be big. I think, like you said, big in his playoffs. He's going to be big in his playoffs because I think a lot of people are forgetting about him. And he's going to show up big.
It really, to me, the only thing that stops this Lions offense is themselves. Is when they do stupid stuff themselves, because it's a bad interception or whatever it may be, bad play calling at certain points of the game. It feels like the only one that stops the Detroit Lions offense is the Detroit Lions offense.
Speaking of dumbass plays and bad interceptions, what the fuck was that? The
Harrison Smith one, right? The one he just
the one he just closed his eyes and said "yeet." What was that?
It kind of reminded me like that meme we used to see back in the day. Megatron's down there somewhere,
Yeah,
just throwing it up there.
That's what he did.
That's what it looked like.
I think J-Mo's down there somewhere. Yeet. What the hell was that? They might as well just told John, what's he called, Foxes, to punt the ball.
Yeah,
That was wild.
It wasn't a pretty game from Jared Goff today. I think Flores kind of had the edge a little bit on Goff a little bit. It wasn't a pretty game, and he even got bailed out a couple times too. Like Van Ginkel, man, almost got that pick six. That could have been a huge game changer. The intentional grounding that they didn't call in the end zone, that was a big break for the Lions. So there was some moments that weren't even called or are not going to show up on the stat sheet. Besides the 2 interceptions, like it wasn't the prettiest game from Goff, but when we needed him, I feel like in those big drives, he settled in a little bit, got more comfortable, leaned on Jameer Gibbs a little bit more, got Amon-Ra involved. And, that's all it really took, man. It really, the way the defense was playing today, you only needed so many points today. They ended up getting 31, but like the defense was playing so well. It's just like, man, just give me something. Just give me a little bit on offense. If you can give me a little bit on offense, we'll be completely fine. And that's exactly what they did. In that second half, they kind of just, they got a little more comfortable and end up working because, going into half, man, it was 10-6. Yeah, 10-6. It was a close ball game, man. And we stole points at the end of half from that kicker, dude. That kicker rewarding us, kicking it out of bounds and getting on the 40-yard line. So we stole 3 points. So it looked like it was only going to be like a 3-point game going to halftime. So, or a 1-point game. Sorry, it would have been 7-6. So it would have been a 1-point lead going to halftime. So stealing points was big too. But yeah, that second half, they settled in a little bit more, went to more of their bread and butter. And that was the Jameer Gibbs show after that, man.
Yeah, just it turned to he wore them down. That's what he did. Trying to stop Jameer Gibbs for 4 quarters is a tough task, and he runs in this with that same motor every single time, and it's tough to stop. He wore them down, and you can see towards the game they're just like this is it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. He's completely wore them down.
I felt like the offensive line got more comfortable in that game too. I felt it was like a little like they're getting pressure pretty instantly on Goff pretty early in that game.
Their edge rushers are really good, man.
They're legit.
You got to tip your hat out to the Vikings, man. I mean, even though we kind of kicked their ass just now, They're 14-2 for a reason, and they give
Not
us
14
problems.
3.
No, yeah, 14-3, 14-3. And they gave us problems in the first half, man. I mean, they did a good job in the first half. Almost had me worried. Almost.
Yeah. It was close in the first half. You weren't as confident. I think that third quarter is like when we kind of really put that game away, and you felt really confident. And then in that fourth quarter, they just completely dominated. Jimmy Gibbs got another touchdown as insurance. I'm like, okay, this game's over.
Yeah, pretty much happened.
I mean, you made this room at 11 o'clock. I saw you made it at the end of the third quarter.
Entitled to everything. Yeah, Lions win NFC North, first place NFC. Yeah, as soon as we went up 2 touchdowns, I was like, "Oh, this is it."
I'm like, is Malcolm? I'm like, is it Malcolm have like some super speed TV? Am I super behind? Or
No,
Malcolm was just super confident.
They weren't scoring. This wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. Sam Darnold looked like Sam Darnold. He looked like Jets Sam Darnold this game. Like this was a very bad game for Sam Darnold. Viking fans are pissed. Did you go on Vikings Twitter?
Not yet. I'm looking
They
forward to tomorrow.
They are saying get Sam Darnold the fuck out of here.
Already?
They want him out of town. They do not want no parts of Sam Darnold. They're ready for JJ McCarthy right now. They're like, yo, get this guy the fuck out of here. We don't want him. He played like dog shit. That's how they feel right now. Go on there. You can get a laugh. I promise you.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I mean, for all he's done for them this season, that's unbelievable. But yeah,
I guess when they needed him the most, he went to Jets. He reverted back to Jets and Darnold.
But like again, he was rough. Don't get me wrong, but like the Detroit Lions defense, you give them credit too, man. They caused that, man. That pressure they were getting was a big credit to them. I mean, you could talk about any quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks can struggle in that situation.
For this defense to have this many guys on IR and still perform that way, man. I don't even know what to say, man.
It's unbelievable.
They had no business making this Minnesota Vikings offense, who was one of the better offenses in the league, score 0 points.
0 touchdowns.
Zero touchdowns. Yeah, they kicked 3 field goals. 0 touchdowns. Stopping them in the red zone. What, 3 times, 4 times?
I think 3 times within the 10-yard line.
Have them go 0-4.
Yeah.
With that many guys on IR, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say.
You know, take this. Don't take this the wrong way, but this team had every excuse in the book to just quit after that Buffalo game. After that Buffalo game, when they lost Aleem McNeil and they lost Carlton Davis, and all those injuries added up from all year, right? I don't have to go through the whole list. You guys know it, right? They had every excuse in the book to say, hey, man, we had it coming into the year. We just got unfortunate. This is unlucky. But this team never wavered, man. They put that game behind them and never wavered. They went out in Chicago, kicked the Bears' ass. They go play a meaningless game in San Francisco and say, F it, we're going to go play our stars. We're going to go kick the 49ers' ass for getting us in that NFC Championship game last year, even though they didn't have to do that. And then they go out there today at home, everything on the line, and they had every reason to be like, man, what the hell, dude? We won 14 games. We're playing for an NFC. We're playing for the NFC North right now. We won 14 freaking games. We're playing for the NFC North. They had every reason to give up or lose a little bit of hope, but this team has never freaking given up, man. This team has never freaking given up, man. And what, like you said, they did on defense today, all those injuries, you're throwing just like whoever out there, and they're getting stops. And this is a respectful offense. This is a 14-win team you just played against. You have one of the best receivers in the NFL, a good supporting cast of receivers, a good offense, good offensive line. We talked about the numbers. They're a good offense. You held them to 0 touchdowns, and you let them get some yards. But once they got in that red zone, you absolutely clamped them once you got in that red zone, man. And it was unbelievable.
We barely gave them yards. I mean, yeah, they totaled over 100 rushing yards on us. Whoopity-doo.
There were some big plays here and there, and then they got in the red zone.
Yeah, but I mean, Sam Darnold, they held him to 166 passing yards.
Yeah.
And this is a top 10 offense. This offense ain't no bad offense here. This is a top 10 offense.
Absolutely.
I'm just lost for words that they did this. Like with all those injuries, man, and they come out and probably played one of the probably the best defensive performances all year long.
It's the most impressive one by far.
This game is probably it's definitely the most impressive one, but it may be the best defensive performance game all year long. Just based on the pressures they're able to put on Sam Darnold and just holding this team to 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really speechless. It really does get you speechless. I don't know what to say about it. It's just unbelievable. What they did, it sounds repetitive, but it's crazy, man. That's not stuff teams have done to the Vikings this year. And
nobody did that to the Vikings this year.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's just not that just hasn't happened all year. And to be frank, like we needed that defensive performance today because the offense, I mean, they stalled out a little bit. You know, that first half, especially, like they got better in that second half, but that first half, I mean, like from what a couple weeks ago, like we had to just lean on this offense, but today we really lean on that defense, and man, that's really encouraging in a big game like that. It gives you some hope going forward to this postseason, man. That's really cool. That's really cool, man. Shout out to Aaron Glenn.
Definitely gives us hope because before this game, you know, we're all thinking, all right, shit, now we got to lean on offense because we're not going to have a defense. Now, if you can play balanced football, man, I think we could coast our way to Super Bowl, bro.
And I think it's as simple as this. Not just him, but like just getting his presence back on the field at Anzalone, man. It's just having him back for this run, I think makes such a huge difference. You know, he's comfortable in the system. He's a guy they lean on. And that guy, I said it pregame, I don't know if he's going to play 100% of the snap, but it would not shock me. I don't know the exact snap count. I didn't see him come off the field at once. I'm assuming he played 100% of the snaps. That guy is an absolute sicko, man. He is playing with a freaking broken arm right now. He's just got a cast on it right now. That guy is a sicko. And he's not just out there playing football and like looks okay. You know, he's not just out there. He's playing his ass off, dude. He's playing his ass off. He's guarding one of the best tight ends in the league, TJ Hockenson, and absolutely locking his ass down. I mean, he was great in coverage, got some quarterback pressures. I mean, that was great. Let me see Hawkinson's numbers. I'm really curious. Hockenson had 2 catches for 9 yards.
Yeah,
2 catches for 9 yards.
2 catches, 9 yards, man. If Anzalone does not play this game, you have to switch your whole game plan around.
100%.
You want to be able to run cover 0 as many times as they did this game because the liability of TJ Hockenson against fucking
Ben Neiman
or fucking
Turner, one of these guys.
Yeah, it's
bad
matchup. Really bad matchup. You're putting yourself in a position where he may have over 100 yards and just complete take over the game. If Anzalone did not play this game, but because he played this game and played out of his mind and played his best coverage game that I've seen him in a Lions uniform, that's how they were able to make it work. Like he took the task. Like, look, he said, you know what? I know TJ Hockenson. I line up against him in practice all the time. I know this fucker. I'm going to shut this guy out. He took that role and he stuck to it. Took it to heart. Meek Robinson, he said, you know what? This motherfucker, Justin Jefferson, I played this motherfucker in high school, college, NFL. I'm going to lock this motherfucker down.
Yeah.
These guys took their task and they took it to heart, man.
Terrion was great too before the injury. I thought he did a very good job on Jordan Addison. Yeah. That was one of his better games. But yeah, you're absolutely correct, man. You're absolutely correct. So just shout out to Aaron Glenn. Shout out to all those guys out there, man, that played defense today, dude. All of them. Zadarius Smith really showed out today. You know, Pascal was making some plays out there. How about boy Al-Qadim Muhammad getting a sack in that backfield too? Al-Qadim Muhammad, man. Look who are these guys, dude? Who are these guys?
Where the fuck did he come from?
They're balling, bro. They're balling. It's great.
dude, I know he was a mid-season pickup, right? He started this team before. Like,
Nah, he wasn't a game. He got here probably like week 5, week 6.
did he come from another team or did he come from his couch? Like, what is his backstory? I know nothing about this guy. I just saw him in the Detroit Lions jersey one day. I'm like, oh, okay, Al-Qadim Muhammad, he's a Lion.
We might have just got him off the streets, Loki. I know that Isaiah Thomas guy was from the Browns practice squad. He didn't pan out, but Al-Qadim might have just been a free agent, Loki.
He might have just been a free agent. I was gonna say,
If he wasn't, he's probably. I mean, maybe someone's practice squad, but yeah, like I think he was just a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong there, but regardless, man, if even if it was a practice squad, just being out there and having that, making that presence, like it's just big, man. It's really big. So shout out to those guys, man. You guys absolutely balled out. Enjoy this week off. Enjoy the week off. Let's get right. And hey, you hear Dan Campbell at the end of the game? I don't know if you heard that. He's shaking Kevin O'Connell's hand. And he goes,
anything. I ain't see anything yet.
So he's shaking Kevin O'Connell's hand at the end of the game. He said, "See you in 2 weeks."
Okay.
He said that to O'Connell.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I don't know. They have to beat the Rams, and the Rams already kicked their ass before.
It was a good game, but yeah. And then that's assuming that there's no upsets in the NFC format, like where the Packers don't beat the Eagles or the Commanders don't beat the Buccaneers. So if that doesn't happen, Pierre's in the building. Yes, sir, Pierre. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, this man probably drunk. He's probably yelling around downtown Detroit right now.
Well, it's saying I'm lit.
Yeah,
we go to the ship. I can see
he's drunk. He's drunk. You can tell he's drunk. That man Pierre, I'm telling you, man. He's ready. He's ready. Let's go. I hear you, bro. Shit.
All right. Yeah. Let's do our 3 ballers the week.
Well, you ready for this one? You ready for this one, Tyler?
Let's see. Yeah, I didn't say he was gonna say that
word. Warfield was lit. There it is. Words from Pierre.
I wish I could hear that Pierre's voice right now, man. This place is lit.
Yeah,
I love that shit so much. All right, let's do we're Paul Pierre's in here. Let's do his segment, Malcolm. Who are your 3 ballers of the week?
The 3 ballers. All right, you should go first. Let me think about this right now because there's a lot of people who I'm trying to nominate right now. And
I got you. All right, think about it. All right, oops,
do you have an oopsie doopsie?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Sam Darnold, belt the ass, baby. Yeah, it looked like he was seeing ghosts today. Rough game for Sam Darnold. So, give it to Sam.
Sammy.
Yes, and the Vikings fans, man, talking a lot of junk this week, man. A lot of junk. They were a little too overconfident. So, I don't have a belt on me, so I'm just gonna do the Amon-Ra celebration.
Wait. They were talking shit when they're on Twitter.
Yes.
Or X? Oh, I gotta find them.
Yes.
I gotta find them.
Yes.
I gotta find them. I've been busy, so I haven't really been on there to talk shit to them.
Yeah. So Sam Darnold and Vikings fans are the oopsie doops of the week. Did you? Oh, hold up. Before you do the ball of the week, did you see? I know you're gonna like this. The Lions fans did the skull chants to mock them.
I sure did. Yes,
they were doing it.
Yes, I did. That's what's up.
Oh, Pierre said he was part of it. I also got an honorary oopsie doops of the week. The Minnesota Vikings organization, as in general, buying 2,000 tickets, sending your fans there, and they did not show up today. I heard Lions fans end up buying those tickets. From the Lions box office.
No way. Wait,
yes.
They didn't. They could have. Wait.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, the Lions had extra tickets at the box office, so they end up selling for face value. So if you called and you could have got some, I'm gonna say lightly cheaper Lions tickets than usual.
Cheaper.
Yeah, they're still pretty expensive, but a little cheaper than expected. So yeah, the Vikings spent $2 million to buy 2,000 tickets for this game, and it flopped completely.
Yeah, they deserve. Yeah, that is a oopsie doopsie of itself. There it is. Yeah. Shit. I didn't even know that happened. I knew the story of them buying the tickets. I thought the fans showed up, but that's what
it flopped.
I was compared to during the game. I was like, "Hey, how many Vikings fans are there?" He was like, "I don't really see much."
Yeah, no, it flopped. The idea flopped, and I heard Lions fans, if you called the box office, you could buy tickets from the box. So I saw a tweet on that. I wish I can get credit for the person that tweeted it, but
Oh man,
so you could have bought some discounted tickets if you call the box office, and
wow,
it ended up being Lions fans that got the tickets that the Vikings spent on from the secondary market. So yes,
wow.
that is a very big flop and deserved of a oopsie doopsie.
Yeah, that's bad. All right, so let's go on to the ballers of the week. Since Pierre is here and he already gave one, he said better say Meek. Meek Robinson, there it is. I guess one baller right there. I'm gonna give it to Meek Robinson for handling business on your boy Justin Jefferson. Kind of shut him out. We had three catches. Three catches, what?
50-ish yards,
50-ish
54
yards?
maybe.
54 yards. Yeah, 54 yards, three catches on 9 targets. That is a belt to ass, if you ask me. That's the first baller of the week. The second one, I'm gonna give it to Alex Anzalone for showing up and putting a complete clamp on TJ Hawkinson. Like we talked earlier, I don't think this game plan works if he's not a part of this game. So Alex Anzalone gets a game ball. And the last one has to go to Jahmyr Gibbs for dominating the offense. He dominating the entire offense. He has to get the last game ball. But I want to give the honorary game ball to Aaron Glenn for putting that product, the product that we had, and having them hold the Minnesota Vikings to 9 points and 0 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Just 3 field goals. That alone is special. That's special itself. So he deserves it. That's how I'm ending this segment.
This is a special group, Malcolm. This is a freaking special group. This is a team that we're gonna look back at many years down the line and say, man, do you remember those 2024, 2025 Detroit Lions? This is a special group, man.
No, I think we're gonna say the 15-2 Lions.
15-2 Lions when they hoisted Lombardi too.
The 15-2 Lions.
This is a special group, man. This is a very, very special group. But before we get out of here, I got some somewhat positive news, it looks like, on an injury front. So Dan Campbell gave us an update on Terran Arnold. Said X-rays came back negative, but he's still pretty tender, so they'll know more tomorrow. So looks like a good start so far. They'll know more tomorrow about the injury, but X-rays came negative, which is very good news.
And that answers that question. And that's huge. Hopefully with the extra rest, he's back out there.
In that division round, yeah.
Yeah, in the division round, hopefully. We need him.
Yeah, that'd be really big to get him back because he played well, man, when he was out there today.
He did play well.
You know, I'm not going to get into my rant. So we should be too happy. We want Terran Arnold out there because we know the other option if he isn't out there. But there's no need to talk about that, so we won't talk about the other option right now because
we won.
We're hoping Arnold will be out there in 2 weeks.
And he made a good play today. And we also won.
I can't talk crap about 29.
We can't talk about the negative that happened today. I mean, there was a negative, but we're not gonna talk about the negative. But focus on the positive.
No, this defense performance. I can't talk anything negative today.
Yeah, no, nothing. No,
man.
Well,
that's good, man. That's good. That's a good victory. It's a good victory, man. It's a good freaking victory. So,
all right. Wait, before we end, let's just want to talk about these playoff matchups real quick and.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we want to talk about the NFC side, right?
Yeah, NFC side. I mean, like, who do you rather play right now? Like, if there's an option for you, who you want to play as far as like in the next round?
I don't have any like specific preference, honestly. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I want this team. I think these honestly are all pretty respectful teams. I think this NFC, there's all good teams. Like, the Eagles are a really good team. I think the Buccaneers, respectful team. They obviously beat us earlier in the year. The Vikings, we just played them. Obviously, respectful team. Commanders are young too. We haven't played them yet too. Like I don't know if I have a necessarily preference. I feel pretty confident going against anyone right now. But I think most likely case scenario, I think it's the winner of the Rams and Vikings game. I think that's gonna be the most likely scenario who we end up getting at Ford Field in 2 weeks in the divisional round.
Well,
Unless do you see the Commanders beating the Buccaneers? I could see that actually. That's not crazy.
that's what I'm going to say because if Commander, we play the worst seed. And people don't,
Yes.
for the listeners out there that don't know how it works for the next round, we're going to play, since we're the number 1 seed, we're going to play the worst seed option. Whoever wins and they're the worst seed, we're going to play.
Yeah.
So
like if the Packers won, automatically be Lions Packers.
Exactly. If the Packers make an upset and beat the Philadelphia Eagles, we automatically play the Packers.
Yeah.
Because they're the 7th seed. I don't see that happening though. I think Philadelphia's going to win.
Yeah. Belt to ass.
The belt to ass, yeah, because they're pretty bad. That Minnesota, that Washington Tampa Bay game is
it's a good ball game. I think that can go either way.
Exactly, and that's if Washington could beat Tampa, we play Washington.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the first time that we see Washington, and I'm actually hoping for that matchup.
I agree. I prefer to see a non-divisional rival in the.
I prefer to see somebody that we have not seen before because everybody else we played already, except the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, well, that's not even possible in the divisional round.
Exactly, but we played Tampa, we played the Rams, and then as far as the division people, we played the Packers and the Vikings. So I don't rather not play them again.
Yeah.
So my first option would be Washington.
I agree with that, honestly. I prefer not to see the Vikings again. Even the Rams, I mean, we've played them in some competitive games. I know it was week 1, but we played them in the playoffs. They give us a tough fight, man. And that's actually, if I had to make a prediction right now, this might be a little bit of a long shot. I think everyone's just kind of predicting Lions, Eagles in the NFC Championship. I think the Rams could do some damage. I think they wouldn't shock me if they're in that game or we see them in that divisional round and it's a hell of a ball game.
They have the weapons, man. Because you talk about Matthew Stafford. They have a good running back. They have a really good running back, really good running back. Then you have those 2 weapons, those receivers. Yeah, they're gonna give a lot of people problems. They might beat the Vikings. I want to be shocked.
I think I'd predict, honestly, the Rams to beat the Vikings right now if I had to predict. It's early, maybe I change on that, but I think if I had to make a pick right now, I think I'd choose the Rams.
So if it went this way and the Rams won, Washington wins.
We get Washington, and then it would be Rams and Philadelphia. Philly.
Yeah, so Philly will play the Rams. That's going to be one hell of a game.
That would be a hell of a ball game. And the Eagles took care of the Rams earlier in the year, but I don't know, man. The Rams looked a little dialed in right now. They could be a little scary. I mean, they obviously have the experience. They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They have Stafford, which we know a bunch about, obviously. So, I mean, they have the experience. They have the team to do it. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Minnesota will give them a good game, man. That's gonna be a really good Monday night game. So, but yeah, if I had a preference, I think Commanders would be my number 1 preference to play in that divisional round. But like I said, I feel pretty confident with anyone right now. Honestly, the way that we're playing right now, I feel pretty confident.
Now, the scenario that everybody was pretty much talking about earlier with the Minnesota Vikings scenario, they would have to win. Tampa would have to win. And Green Bay will have to lose.
Yeah, so you'd have every favorite would technically win. Outside the Rams. I mean, technically the Rams are the home team. So, but that's
the Rams are the home team, but the record wise,
I think betting odds. I think the Vikings are favorite already.
I think I think. Does it show it?
I think it's 2.5 Vikings.
It's 2.5.
Vikings, right?
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2. Well, it's showing me 2.
Whatever, yeah. I know the Vikings are favored technically. On the road.
Vikings are favored on the road. So yeah, all favorite teams will have to win.
Our Bucks, I'm assuming, are favored against Tampa, right? I mean, like against Commanders.
Yeah.
What is it, like 3 points, 3.5?
3 points. 3 points. So yeah, all the favorites would have to win.
And then it'd be Detroit and Minnesota again, yeah. Which is not crazy. It's not a crazy, like, hypothetical. That could happen. So,
If I wonder, do they rather play us again, or would they rather play Philadelphia
Or for Minnesota standard,
from us? Yeah, Minnesota.
I would probably assume they think the way we're thinking right now. They probably don't want to play an NFC North team again in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, I know playing in Philly's tough, but playing here is pretty damn tough too. And especially when you just had a game like that right now, I don't know if that's a team you want to see in the postseason again. So I don't know necessarily. So
yeah, because they not right now. They lost the last 5 meetings against us.
so for them to play Philadelphia, that would have to be a Philly win versus Green Bay.
Yeah, and then just
Command,
watch
Commanders would
Commanders
have to
win,
beat Tampa, and then if they
and then
beat the
they win.
Rams, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually not crazy. Then
yeah.
that's not crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess like it looks like. I mean, if they want to go far, I don't want to get too cocky, but it looks like they're gonna have to meet us at one point eventually. Because if it's not that round, it's gonna be the NFC Championship. Then I think
Yeah, I mean,
if they go out and beat Philly,
yeah, you got to play one of us, regardless. So
yeah, it looks like at one point if they are gonna make a run, like they're gonna probably have to run into Detroit at one point, whether that's the divisional round, the championship round, whatever it may be. But
what is the spread for this Philadelphia and Green Bay game?
I think it's like 7.5
No,
or 6.5.
It's showing 4.5 for me.
Oh, okay, I was way off. I might do an alt spread and go 6.5.
4.5. Wow.
I think that's
Are you giving Green Bay? Are you giving Green Bay a chance?
No, I think they lose.
not even a puncher's chance.
I don't like Green Bay, man. I don't think they're ready for this postseason.
They look awful, and I think Jordan Love got hurt today too.
I think he could have came back, but yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. They got potential. I mean, they're obviously they're giving us some good games, obviously, but I just don't view them as a huge playoff threat this year, at least. I think in a couple of years they could be more of a threat, but not right now.
I lost all hope for them when I saw that Vikings and Green Bay game.
That last week game, yeah.
I lost all hope for them. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that'll be a huge upset. That'll probably be the upset of the playoffs if they could get that.
That or probably Broncos beating the Bills would be bigger.
And Broncos, they're solid to me.
They're not bad, but beating Buffalo would be very, 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 very impressive.
You think that'd be more impressive than Green Bay beating Philadelphia?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, Green Bay, I had expectations for them coming to the year. Denver, I literally had nothing for them coming into the year.
Yeah, me too. But
yeah, I guess like now looking at them, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be very shocked if they could upset the Bills in that first round.
Like if Denver, if this was a scenario where Denver had to play Green Bay, I don't see Green Bay beating Denver. Yeah, I mean, that's how bad Green Bay has been lately.
That'd be a solid ball game, honestly.
It would be a solid ball game.
That'd be a solid ball game.
I still don't have a winning though.
So now that the lines are off, what game are you looking forward to the most this weekend? It could be NFC, AFC. What game are you looking forward to the most this weekend? We'll get your eye.
I'm gonna be tuning in on all games that we could be potentially playing.
Yeah,
I think the first option is going to be the Washington and Tampa game. And then I mean, I don't give Green Bay much of a chance. I wonder what Minnesota does against the Rams. I think that game's gonna be the most entertaining game. The Minnesota and the Rams game. It might be the most entertaining game, but
those two games that you mentioned earlier, the ones I'm probably looking forward to the most: the Commanders, Buccaneers, and the Vikings, Rams.
Yeah.
Man, look at these spreads early on. Buffalo's a 9-point favorite against Denver.
Seriously?
And then this one makes a little more sense, but Baltimore's a 9.5-point favorites against the Steelers.
Wow, the AFC is wild, man.
And then Chargers Texans is a pretty even game. -3 Chargers way. And then we got an update here. Speaking of betting odds, the Detroit Lions on FanDuel are now the Super Bowl favorites. They have officially
passed the Chiefs. After that performance,
they passed the Chiefs.
After that performance, you have to get. I mean, Everybody was worried about our defense. We just held the Minnesota Vikings at 9 points. You should still worry about his defense. I mean, I don't
I
know
mean,
what to tell you.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried before. You know, like
I
watching
I was
that
too.
San Francisco and Chicago game, I was a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look good at all. But if they could continue that performance and ride the playoffs with that performance on the defense, yeah, Super Bowl favorites. And
Absolutely.
I think by a lot too. I think it could be easy work.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be a very, very fun round. I'm so glad we're taking the week off, man. I'm so glad we could just sit back and relax.
Yeah, for real, man. Shit.
It's crazy how much of a difference it is because like winning playoff games is so tough, and now it's like you only have to win 2 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl with having this bye.
Yeah.
Like you're just locked in the divisional round. That's so crazy to me.
It's just like you automatically advance.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy to me. Like we worked our asses off just to get to the wild card round, like in the past, and like especially win a game in the wild card round. And now we're just taking a bye week. You're like, we're just coasting the divisional round. It's like, man, this is how it feels, huh? It's crazy.
It is crazy. And you know what, man? We started this whole podcast 6 years ago, man.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll be here like right now? Like looking at how awful and what we went through as fans, and having to show up after every game and every time we recorded, we're like, shit, it keeps getting worse. You know, it's like
Can't get worse than this.
I mean, it's like, look where we are now, man. 6 years. This is something that we started 6 years ago, man.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you in 2024, yeah, we'd be right here right now. I mean, I'd be optimistic with it. Hopefully we'd be there one day, but to like actually see it come into play and not just like talk about it is way different, man. Like just because now it used to just be hope and like talk about it and like, yes, I think we could do this, but now actually seeing it happen in front of our eyes, it's a completely different. Like it's not a feeling we ever experienced it right now. It's just like it's cool, man. It's just cool. It's weird. It's cool. I love it.
It's weird and it's cool. Weird and cool.
I love it though.
Shit, yeah. I mean, winning nothing is better than winning, man.
Yeah.
And
right.
yeah, man, it's just a whole different perspective, man. Because back then, we just talk about, oh, what do we need to do to go to the playoffs? Well, are we a playoff team? Can we get to the playoffs?
Yeah.
We don't even talk. I would think we even ask ourselves that question this year.
No.
If we're a playoff team. What do we need to do to get to the playoff? No. What do we need to get to the Super Bowl? That was the question.
That's the question. Yeah. Because I mean, we were one step behind last year, you know, in that game last year, and now it's like, what do we have to do to get past that and you know take that next step? And we'll see what they do. Obviously, we're not there yet. We still have a lot more football to be played, and you know we'll see what happens. But it looks promising, guys. It looks very, 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 very promising.
Very promising, man. And I want to ask you, how do you feel about it? I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure you're happy that we have this, you know, the bye, but the whole momentum and playing a team that could be potentially hot.
See, in most in most instances, I think I agree with. It's like, man, sometimes I don't want that bye week, but this team needs the bye week. I think this team is like they could use a break really badly, and you know, if they had a history of coming out slow after buys, I'd say, man, maybe this is a little more like maybe I'd rather just roll into it, play a wild card game and like keep that momentum going forward. But man, they haven't had a bye week since week 5, and I've seen this team come out of bye weeks. They look like they're you know they're rejuvenated. They're ready to go. It's not like they have a slow start. And now the playoffs is a completely different story than the regular season. But from my experience of watching Dan Campbell teams out of buys since we've gotten a better roster, there's no concerns for me because if you remember that game this year when we came out of the bye, it was a Dallas Cowboys game. And they just came full throttle, kicked the Cowboys' ass. And now that's not a great team, but the point still stands, you know, like they didn't have any slow starts at any point in that game. They just, from start to finish, kicked the Cowboys' ass. And the bye had zero effect on them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Lions as far as them starting. So this team is built different. They're wired different. What I mean by that is a team getting hot. And like I'm going to give you an example. Say if Green Bay put belts to ass on the fucking Eagles,
Yeah.
beats their ass 42-17. Now,
Okay.
guess who we played in the very next round?
Yeah. You get Green Bay.
We play Green Bay. Would that worry you?
I mean, if they were able to like dominate the Eagles like that,
Dominate,
yeah,
belt
they were.
to ass.
I
Because
mean,
that's a scenario where you talk about a team that's on the road, they go to a hostile environment, and they completely dominate, and they just move on. And now they're hot, and now they're playing the next opponent, and now
yeah,
that next opponent is us.
yeah. I mean, I still feel confident we could win that game, obviously. But yeah, no, you got to respect the Packers if they could do that. That'd be very respectful. I mean, any team that we're gonna play, you have to respect the team regardless of who it is. I mean,
Yeah.
these are all respectful teams. I think. I mean, outside the Packers, I don't really respect them that much. But other than that, I respect all these other teams. But if they were able to, like, if they are able to get to Ford Field and beat the Eagles, yes, I'm gonna respect the Green Bay Packers. My perspective completely changes, 100%.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't respect them.
Yeah, I mean, these wildcard matchups is. If we have to play one of these hot teams, because I know how it is when these players get hot, their teams get hot. I know how it is, man.
Yeah.
Could worry me a little bit. Could worry me a little bit.
You know, it's fair.
But the thing is, on the opposite hand, we need this.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this team coming out the bye, man. Like some teams they rather just roll momentum, but this team I think needs it, man.
I'm not worried about the line. Again, the Lions are going to play Lions football.
Yeah,
that's not something I'm worried. I'm not worried about them being rusty or coming off, not giving 100%. This Dan Campbell have these guys built right. Not worried about that. I'm just might be a little worrisome if like a scenario like that happens, where Green Bay, like a team that's like we're not even thinking is going to win, like Green Bay,
yeah,
and they completely dominate Philly, and we have to play them next. And
it'd be very impressive. It would be a very impressive victory, and obviously they have a bunch of confidence. But hey, that'd be for us to end that confidence and just send their ass home to Kingston. I know their ass ain't going back to Green Bay. No offense, but I live out there, but all offense, honestly. All right.
No choice. All right, man.
I think that's a wrap, man. That was a really good show. So I hope you guys all enjoyed, man. 304 of you viewers right now, 12:28 a.m. on a Sunday night. You guys are absolutely unbelievable, man. I appreciate you guys all so much for joining us and just hearing us talk. We're literally just talking football right now, yapping about the Lions. Just excited, man. We're really happy. So, so happy. Thank you guys so much for all joining. Hope you guys all enjoyed. We will see you guys not next week, but the week after, because we're going to be on a bye week. So hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm out, guys. Peace.
All right, y'all. It's your boy Malcolm. Like Tyler said, man, we're going to enjoy this bye as well. Enjoy these wild card matchups. And we'll see who the Lions end up playing, man. We need this bye. Let's go. With that being said, I'm out, man. Peace.